What's good, everybody? It's your man's Reggie Black, aka GPI Game Plan Insights. Happy Friday to all of y'all. I'm back with another video. I was gonna post a video yesterday about my reaction to the Lakers, Nuggets, and Cavs and Kings, but had a little issue with my phone. But no excuses. Should have posted it yesterday, but I apologize for that. So let's get into these two games that happened Wednesday night, because by the time you've seen this, it's Friday. And should have posted it yesterday like I said I was supposed to do, but things happen, and I apologize for that. Nuggets, Lakers. So this game, I'm not going to talk from the Nuggets side because the Nuggets was missing their two stars, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, due to ankle injuries. For the Nuggets, I guess from my perspective, they're just trying to get healthy for the playoffs and just try to make a run. Do I think they're going to win the championship? No, I don't think they have a deep enough bench to help them in the way. I think they need to trade some pieces for next year to try to get a deeper bench because Nikola Jokic is in his prime. And what this proves to me out of everything is the Nuggets are finding every way to mess up Nikola Jokic's prime. And if you keep messing up Nikola Jokic's prime, not saying Denver's not a good place to live, but just be careful. Jokic might request for a trade. I'm not saying he will, but he just might request for a trade. But I did say I want to talk about this from the Lakers perspective because the Lakers look damn good. Lakers fans, y'all should be excited about your team. You should be excited about your team. The big three of Luka, LeBron, AR, they're going to be a daily combination when it gets to playoffs. My only concern is, can they play good enough defense to withhold their own against the top echelon team like Boston? I think like Cleveland. I think like OKC. Because I think they're the fourth best team overall in the NBA behind your two best teams in the East and then OKC. I think they're the fourth best team in my opinion. Luka comes out scorching hot. 21 first quarter points on 7-11 shooting. And the Lakers never looked back. Once he came out hot, it was pretty much over. And looking at that game, it makes you realize there's nobody on the Nuggets that can really guard Luka Doncic. You thought AG was going to have a chance. He can't really guard Luka. And even if LeBron was playing, they was going to put AG on. They was going to put AG, Aaron Gordon, on LeBron. But you wanted to see if Aaron Gordon can at least slow down Luka. Can you put somebody else on LeBron, like a Peyton Watson? You can't even do that. Because if they were to play in the series right now, I would not be surprised if Luka averages 30 in that series because he was cooking everybody. He was cooking Russell Westbrook. He was cooking Peyton Watson. He was cooking Aaron Gordon. He was cooking every single person on the Nugget squad that got in his way. That's how scorching hot he was. The way he was on the road, he could have dropped 60 in that game. But that's what's so good about being on the Lakers. Not that being on the Mavs is not good, but that's what's so good about being on the Lakers. They have guys that can pick up the slack for you. Not saying the Lakers, the Mavs, because you still have Kyrie Irving. But Kyrie was missing time too due to injury and all that stuff. Besides Kyrie. But overall, as a squad, I think the Lakers are a little better. So, Luka and AR combined for 53 points. The Nuggets were down as many as 28. And in the 5 games that LeBron has missed and Luka has played, or the 4 of the 5, Luka has averaged 30 points, 11 rebounds a game, and 9 assists per game. I just rounded it up. I think it was like 10.5 for rebounds, 10 points something, that rounded to 11, and it was like 9.25 assists per game. The Lakers been 2-2 though, but this is my perspective from the Lakers. The Lakers look pretty good, and I think Lakers fans should be excited about this team this season and for future seasons to come. I would not be surprised if LeBron comes back for another season, depending on how far the Lakers, because if they can get to the Western Conference Finals, but they lose to like an OKC or somebody, they're going to say, you know what? if we just keep building the pieces, I think I have one more season in me. And Luka's only going to get better. And then think about from the Lakers' perspective, because they traded Anthony Davis, think they cleared up like $30 million in cap space. Yes, you're gonna have to sign Luka to a long-term extension because he is eligible for a supermax, but not the supermax that he was supposed to get. He was supposed to get from Dallas, and they would have kept him like a 5-year, $334 million. But because the Mavs traded him, now he's eligible for like a 5-year, $290. Still a lot of money, $290, but it's not $334 either. $334 to $290 is a substantial difference. So the Mavericks pretty much hold Luka in getting his money. And I think that's where, that's the one thing in life, sports, whatever you're dealing with. Do not play around about my money. It's that simple. As soon as you play with people's money, feelings are going to get hurt, problems going to occur, and that's basically what the Mavs did. The Mavs fucked around, excuse me for my language, but he played around with they played around with Luka's money. It's that simple. So, for the Lakers' perspective, LeBron's coming back soon. Probably next game. Maybe, if not next game, the game after. He's coming back eventually. They're going to the playoffs. And because they beat the Nuggets, although they're 2-2 in the series, the Lakers have a better division record than the Nuggets because I think they beat OKC and the Thunder haven't. No, Thunder beat OKC. I forgot which team. Nuggets lost and the Lakers beat, but they have a better division record than the Nuggets. So if the season would have ended today and the Nuggets are tied with the Lakers in record, well, depending on what seed, the Lakers will be the highest seed than the Nuggets because of division record, although they are 2-2 in the series. So that's exciting. But Lakers fans, y'all should be excited for your team, excited for the players that y'all have, and y'all be able to make a deep run. Now, let's talk about Cavs and Kings. Cavs and Kings, that was an interesting game because the Cavs are coming off their second straight loss Monday night against the Clippers. And, Kawhi just cooked them. Kawhi turned back the clock against the Cavs. Coming back off, a Sunday matchup against Orlando. So, at the end of the day, is it time to worry about the Cavs? No. Yes, I feel like there are things to be concerned about, but in terms of worrying, no. They have the number one seed locked up by maybe 8-9 games, I think, because Boston kept playing with their few at home, not win. And Boston's a weird team. If y'all want me to talk about Boston and their home struggles, I can. But we don't need to get into that. But Boston's just a weird team when it comes to the home. But they make up so much on the road. It's a weird combination. I don't get it. But for the Cavs, it's their third straight loss. And you lose to a Kings squad that don't have Sabonis, who's out at least another 7 days by the time I posted this with an ankle sprain. Zach LaVine was out for personal reasons. I think somebody else important. But basically, they were playing with Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan, who gave you good points. But there's his name I want to talk about, too, on the Kings that stepped up for them. And his name is Devon Carter. He had 16 points. He was cooking, 16 points. And he made clutch buckets for them down at the end of the game, to help them win this game. So for the Cavs, for the Kings' perspective, yes, they're in the play-in, but I don't think they're worrying about trying to get into the playoffs. It's just the teams below them are struggling as well, that somebody has to get that 10th seed. Look at Dallas. Anthony Davis not even back. Yes, he's practicing G League, but he's not back yet. Of course, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, they're not back. So Mavs been injured all year. And with Kyrie out all year, too, torn ACL, that doesn't help either. I forgot why. I lost my train of thought. But, Spurs, they don't have Wembanyama. They're pretty much out the picture. So somebody has to get that 9th and 10th seed. Do I think somebody from the 9th or 10th seed is making it? No, because I don't think you're beating the Clippers. Kawhi is back. I don't think you're beating the Warriors or Minnesota, depending on who gets the 7th seed. So that's the way it is. But for the Cavs' perspective, There are some things you should be concerned about. Donovan Mitchell's inefficiency has been a cause for pause in this 3-game losing streak. I think he's shooting, I want to say 30-something% if I'm not in 3-game losing streak. So he hasn't been shooting the ball well. Yes, they had Darius Garland that game as well, but they have won without Darius Garland. Evan Mobley had a good game. Donovan Mitchell did have a good game against the Kings. I think he scored like 26 points. I don't know the field goal percentage, but he was not shooting the ball well. Donovan Mitchell will shoot the ball well. For the Cavs are on just cruise control. They're just trying to make it to the playoff and see, and get their run started there. There is cause to pause because I want to look at Kenny Atkinson, the head coach. Now, for those that know Kenny Atkinson's history, he was in Brooklyn with the Nets. Changed the culture around, but he never got the Nets over the hump. Now, was it too premature? You could say that because Kyrie and Kevin Durant came in. They didn't like him, so the Nets fired him. But you can't blame him for being a culture changer. Look what he did with the Nets haven't been this good since he left. If we just really want to be honest, they're trying to find the next Kenny Atkinson, and you think you have in Jordy Fernandez, but the jury's still out on him. Not saying he's not going to be a good coach, but it's just still out on him because the Nets are doing everything to recuperate draft picks and try to be in the hunt for Cooper Flag. But the Nets just haven't been that good since Kenny Atkinson, and so the one thing you cannot say about Kenny Atkinson is he don't know how to coach and he's not a culture changer, because we have seen him do it before and he has done it again. And for Kenny Atkinson's sake, he could have took the Charlotte job last season, but he decided to stay with the Warriors for a better opportunity. And that's a good gamble by him, because usually coaches don't gamble on themselves, but he did. And a better job opportunity came with the Cavs, and he got these boys playing great basketball. But I want to say, for me, Kenny Atkinson is still on the jury, because when the Cavs got rid of J.B. Bickerstaff, the reason was they needed somebody that can take them over the top. Championship. Can they get to the finals? Now, I think the Cavs is going to get to the conference finals. But can Kenny Atkinson outcoach Joe Mazzulla and get them boys, the Cavs, to the NBA Finals? If he can, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to come on here and apologize to Kenny Atkinson, and that's it. But if he can't, then that is worry. Now we back at the same place that we was last year, which was who's going to stop Kenny Atkinson? Well, no, let me rephrase that. Is who's the coach that can take this Cavs team over the top? Or do you need to trade some players? I think you're going to eventually have to trade some players, because Evan Mobley is good. Jared Allen is good for what he is. Garland is good for what he is. Don Mitchell's your star. Like, can you win with 4 solid stars? Or can you or do you get 2 stars and then surround depth pieces? Like what the Warriors are somewhat doing, or what the Lakers are somewhat doing, or what OKC's somewhat doing. Because winning with 4 stars, it's not saying it's not difficult, but history has shown the chances are very unlikely. Not that it's likely to happen, because anything can happen. It's sports. Anything can happen. But it's very unlikely. So this is my question for the Cavaliers. And Cavaliers fans, I'm not doubting you. I think y'all are a great team. I guess my question is, can you win an NBA championship with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen? Or would you at least have to trade 2 of them pieces to get better pieces, if that makes sense? Because I think the squad is good, but you're looking at these 4 is like Donovan Mitchell has had good playoff games, but he has had playoff games, and he's been on teams where he's been the favorite and they lost too. Look at the Jazz when they didn't have Kawhi. Everybody thought Jazz was gonna win, and instead you lost to a Clippers team without Kawhi. That means Tyler Lue coaches. But now I'm not saying Quinn Snyder is better than Kenny Atkinson, because I think Kenny Atkinson is better. But the coach can only do but so much. The players gotta execute. And Donovan Mitchell, although he has executed more, you don't know if he can execute it at the biggest stage in the playoffs. Because as the game's rolling, the pressure keeps mounting and mounting and mounting. It's like a ladder. I'm starting at the bottom, but the more I keep climbing, you're afraid of heights can really come in. So that's the biggest thing with the Cavaliers. Am I worried about this 3-game losing streak? No. They're gonna right the ship before the playoffs. They probably gonna go on another little 8 to 9 game win streak, maybe 5. You gotta think about it. They have 2 15-game win streaks this season. So they have to experience adversity so they know how to overcome it. But I think that's my opinion on Cavs and Kings. Cavs 3-game losing streak currently. They do play tonight. I don't know who they play against. I think they do play tonight. I think I'm not worried for them in terms of making sure they right. I think they're going to be able to right the ship. You have no choice in sports. You gotta learn how to face adversity, and I think this is their real first adversity all year, to be honest with you. So it comes at a good time. It's still the regular season, so it's not like you're crashing down in the playoffs. Get the regular season to learn everything, because once playoff starts, games are every other day, and your game could, your season could end in a week and a half almost, depending on how the games go. So that's my reaction on Cavs, Kings, Nuggets, Lakers. To next video today, it's going to be about the Raptors and the Warriors game, and what's next after the Steph Curry injury, and will the Warriors be good? Thank you for another edition of GPI, Game Plan Insights. I'm Reggie Black. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.